What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the cash app's in the top right corner of the video. But let's get into it because I want to discuss if Drake is hiding a sister or if he's hiding a daughter. Now, for some of you who may have noticed, and for some of you who may have not, in Fighting Irish, in the last verse in particular that we're going to be talking about today, the third verse is where he kind of, in some way, responds to Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams was the diss track by Kendrick Lamar. And in some way, I believe that Drake was trying to respond to the things that Kendrick Lamar said in this diss track. Now, if you could remember Meet the Grams, a lot of things were said in Meet the Grams, especially in the fourth verse when the letter was written to Aubrey, dear Aubrey, all that, right? When he starts talking about the things that Drake struggles with, you got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, talking about the drinking problems and the gambling habits that Drake has, all the way to the point where he starts talking about religious views. When he talks about how he lied about religious views, he lied about the surgery, lied about the accents and past tense, all his perjury, right? These were things that Kendrick was writing a letter to Drake about, the things that he has issues with. And going back to Fighting Irish, you can see Drake subtly talk about these things. You know, when Kendrick talked about Meet the Grams, you know, we're talking about the Graham family, Drake's family, which is something that he also touches on. So you see here, he says, right here, this is how it starts. Bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The dentist genes come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while he tell me that I'm that guy. So you could see here that he's addressing the addiction issues that Kendrick was talking about, the drinking problems. He's talking about his family, the Grams, his mom, his dad, and now he just had a reason to point out the sister, as well as talking about the religious views that Drake has come to understand and respect. But these are all things that Kendrick had pointed out back in Meet the Grams. The one thing that I did want to focus on at this time was the bar right here where he talks about my dad has another child. I told him that it wasn't my sister. Now, Drake is addressing a complex family situation. His father has another child, but Drake doesn't consider that child to be his sister, likely due to feelings of estrangement or a lack of emotional connection. The line suggests that Drake may feel disconnected from this new family member, perhaps because of his complicated relationship with his father or personal reasons. So this is Genius saying that Drake is denouncing that he has a sister. He's not open to having a sister in his life. He doesn't want his sister in his life. Which honestly, in a song like this, I don't think it's a good look when you're talking about things that you're responding to from Meet the Grams. When you're not accepting your sister, but also being accused of not accepting your alleged daughter, right? So it looks kind of crazy, right? But let me get back to it. Dennis Graham had made some post a while back, I believe a few years ago, talking about one of his grandchildren. And you would think, oh, he's probably talking about Adonis. He's probably talking about something like that. No, well, that sister line, it goes a long way because now people are digging up some information. People have digged up information about Dennis Graham in the past to see, well, does he actually have other kids? Because if you look up on the internet, it's not going to show that Drake has a sister. If you look up online, it will show that Drake doesn't really have any siblings. You see, if you look online, it says, as it turns out, it has not been confirmed by anybody, any verified outlets, or an interview that Drake has any brothers or sisters. However, there has been rumors going around for some time now that Drake has a half sister on his father's side. So the internet is saying that Drake doesn't have a sister, Drake doesn't have siblings, that it's also a rumor that he might have a sister. But if you look here, it says that Dennis Graham, Drake's father, has two more half siblings, which means that Drake has two more siblings that he's related to. Whether he likes them or not, whether he accepts them or not, that's his dad's blood, and those are his siblings. But the theory that I bring to you today is in regards to a thing that Dennis Graham had posted a long time ago when he had talked about a child. He had talked about somebody that he had said was his granddaughter. As you can see, this is the real Dennis Graham. He said, my beautiful granddaughter. Right here, you can see my beautiful granddaughter. And he posted a picture of a little girl. There's another picture that he had posted of this little girl. It's a picture of this. And this, I at first, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought it was Adonis. But then if you look closely, it's a girl. She has her nails painted. So it's not it looks like Adonis, but it's not. It's a little girl because obviously you can see that they have painted nails. And I'm assuming that this little girl is the same girl in this photo as well, where Dennis Graham is saying, "My beautiful granddaughter." Now, going back to the lyrics right here, now this is what the listeners are speculating here from this song. It could be two things at this time. Either Drake does have a sister, and the little girl that's being shared on Dennis Graham's profile, where he's calling her the granddaughter, that could be Drake's sister's daughter, or it could be Drake's actual daughter. See, what people are trying to say is either one, it's his sister, and that's his sister's daughter, or two, it's Drake's daughter, and he's trying to spin it as if he has a sister, and that's his sister's kid. Because it's obvious that when Dennis Graham posts "my beautiful granddaughter," and if sources can't confirm if Drake has siblings or not, then you would assume that this child is Drake's. But then Drake, in some way, listeners are saying that Drake is trying to get ahead of the curve. That if Drake has a sister that he just doesn't claim, then that little girl that's in Dennis Graham's post is technically his niece, so to speak. So could this be his sister's daughter, or could this be Drake lying about having a sister and then actually having a daughter that he's trying to deny as well? This is what fans are saying. This is what's speculated. I'm not trying to say that it's real or not. I don't know if Drake has a sister or not, but clearly in the last song that he had made, this is the first time I ever mentioned that he ever had a sister. If y'all listen to Drake, y'all could tell me if he's had a sister in the past and if he's brought her up. If Dennis Graham has brought her up in an interview, y'all could let me know. But as of currently right now, this is the first time that I ever heard Drake talk about having a sister, but also denouncing her at the same time, not accepting her, not claiming her to be his sister or his blood. It would be crazy though if Drake did have a sister, but Drake not claiming his sister and then not claiming an alleged daughter is crazy, bro. At the end of the day, like it's still crazy. Even if you didn't have a daughter, you're not claiming your sister, which is still pretty bad when you talk about Meet the Grams as a whole. But the only reason why people think that Drake is lying about having a sister is because he never talked about having a sister at all until this song had came out. Like I said, if you know any proof of him talking about his sister in the past, let me know in the comments. But people think that he's lying about having a sister to cover up the fact that he might have a daughter that Dennis Graham slipped up and posted on Instagram. Either that or this is actually his niece that he's not claiming either. Either way, it's still pretty messed up to have a sister and not claim them, or to have a daughter and not claim them. Allegedly, right? I don't know if Drake has a daughter or not, but through word of mouth, he said that he has a sister that he doesn't claim. So it's not far-fetched to think that Drake has family that he don't fuck with. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. Do you feel like Drake has a sister and he has a niece that he don't claim? Or is he trying to lie about having a sister to cover the fact that Dennis Graham had slipped up and exposed his granddaughter, his daughter? We know that Drake has his father's habits, like he said on the track. We know that he said that he has his father's habits. So, especially when the vodka starts kicking in, when it starts flooding his system, I guess, or whatever the case may be, right? But the nerve of you, Dennis. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about this, man. Do you think he has a sister and the niece that he's not claiming? Do you think he has a daughter that he's trying to hide by saying he has a sister? I'm not sure. But as far as I know, Drake does have family that he's not trying to claim at all. I can tell you that for sure. But y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments. We'll keep it a legend for now. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.